Battle packs are widely popular, The Mandalorian is widely popular, and 2 years ago LEGO combined them together in one set. But is this the way? Battle packs were introduced by LEGO in 2007 and they were being released every year up until recently. If you love them, don't worry, they will return next year and rumor has it they will be Hoth. If you don't know what LEGO Star Wars Battle Packs are, let me briefly explain. The initial idea behind these sets was to provide affordable army building kits for hobbyists, but in time it evolved into more of character packs and many people didn't like this change much. The Mandalorian Battle Pack was something in between. I think I was the last minifigure guy on the planet to get the set and I got it just in time as it should retire at the end of this year. It was released on the break of 2019 and 2020. It contains of 102 elements, it has 4 minifigures and it still retails for 14.99 euros or dollars. As the box art is very simple, let me tell you about the box in form of a haiku. Mandos on the front, looks good but nothing special, Mandos on the back. Okay, moving on to the completed set. And this is how it all looks. There's not much of it, but that's battle packs for you. Small side builds and nice minifigures, no more no less. First off, few words about those side builds. There are two, the Mandalorian speeder and this small bunker. There's not much to say about the bunker. It's a very simple reddish brown dark bluish grey rock-like structure based on a 6x6 light bluish grey plate, and you have a space for one minifig there and a jumper plate to pin a stud shooter in. It's quite unremarkable, but I guess it adds a little to the general playability. The speeder is a bit more interesting. It's quite sturdy build, suitable for playing, and it comes with two stud shooters on the sides and it is quite swooshable. It has this slightly battle-worn look due to its grey dark tan color scheme and it's a solid design but nothing more. I do think it can inspire you to build your own small speeder though, as it proves you can do a lot with few simple bricks. But we all know you don't buy battle packs for side builds, right? And the minifigures in this set do not disappoint. Fun fact, this is the second Mandalorian battle pack ever released and the first one was released in 2012. It was based on the Clone Wars and it came with 4 members of the Death Watch. These guys here are actually the first Mandalorians I have in my collection and oh boy are those useful for any custom minifigures. First off, you have 4 straight narrow capes in 3 different colors here, and this type of cape is exclusive to Mandalorians. All of these minifigures would be exclusive to this set if it weren't for the dark blue-green one, which also appeared in this year's LEGO Star Wars magazine. That being said, each helmet, each torso and each legs, with an exception of the only unprinted dark brown ones, is exclusive to this set. It may not be such a good thing for people wanting to build their own great Mandalorian army and buy these guys in bulk, but for someone like me who's into custom minifigures and wants to stock up on some useful and unique elements, this set is a must-have. Prints on each of these minifigures are really great. They depict battle-worn armors decorated with painted tribal patterns. They come in very nice colors like sand blue, dark tan, light and dark bluish grey, dark blues, dark green and green, dark azure, dark orange. This battle pack is really a gold mine of minifigure elements. Plus, you have 6 extra headgear accessories to sweet up the deal even more. On the downside, all the heads are just plain black, but even Din Djarin aka The Mandalorian has a plain black head in all LEGO Star Wars sets, and all 4 weapons here are just plain stud shooters, and I really feel this could have been at least a bit modified by some weapons, utensils, anything to make this selection more varied. Sadly, it is what it is. By the way, if you're one of the people who hate stud shooters everywhere, I have good news for you. More varied weapons should return in battle packs starting next year. As for the spares, apart from extra headgear accessories I've mentioned, there's some trans red ammo for stud shooters, 3 other 1x1s, dark bluish grey cheese slope, a trigger and a small technic pin. Okay, so to briefly sum it all up. This set probably won't satisfy Star Wars Army builders, but it is a must-have for any customizer or any Star Wars minifigure collector. It wasn't my favorite Star Wars battle pack up to date. For example, I remember how fun the Elite Praetorian battle pack was, and this one was nowhere near that fun. Side builds are unremarkable, weapons selection is bland, heads are unprinted, but that doesn't change the fact you're getting a lot of unique or rare elements here, like those helmets, capes, printed legs or torsos. Is this set worth its weight in Beskar? Not really. I think that this price could have been at least a little bit lower, but thankfully it is often discounted, at least until it is still on shelves. So, do I love this set? Not so much. Would I get it for the second time, especially as I got it for 50% of RRP? Definitely. I have spoken.